Watch this.
Sin. Just like me.
Sometimes you can ask people also, like you can turn off the volume in these interviews and ask people, what do you think they're talking about? I mean, now, and nobody will guess a missing child, a missing family. Nobody would. They would think he's talking about a baseball game or something.
That's such a good point. Yeah, you're right.
Normally ever empty.
You know what? I kind of hold on. Let me pull that out just here. You can see what
we have a bedroom that's empty. That is never normally ever empty.
Did you catch that?
Did you catch that, Mike?
Listen to.
He was just about to say, "Oh my God, I've never caught this before." He was.
Let me hear.
He was just about to say, "It's never going to be filled again."
Oh, let me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Silver's on the scene. It is Thursday, May 22nd. Hope everyone's Thursday's been great and you're looking forward to the weekend, especially Memorial Day weekend. So I played you a little clip there, and that is from Sweetie Pilo. Sweetie Pilo's channel a few weeks ago. And I'll leave the link to her channel as well as a link to this video. She was on there with Mike DeMann, I think it is, Mike DeMann. And so he's an analyst, speech and all this stuff, and so I'll leave his link to his video there. So credit to both of them, but I want to start the video that we're going to go back and watch it. I just want to start off with that, but it's something that you can see. Sweetie Pilo has done so much. Thank you so much for your work with Sebastian, bringing his awareness, keeping it alive, and then talking with neighbors, and just everything you've done. But I was watching that just a few weeks ago, and I actually was going to do a video back then. I never got around to it, but she just caught something there that they were comparing, and you'll see as we go back, we'll talk about it. They were comparing like a Chris Watts to a CP from a standpoint of how you act, your demeanor, and all that. So before we go further, let's put this up here. Disclaimer on the wall. Content in this video is intended for informational purposes only. Mainly to get you thinking, right? Everything in seeing this video is alleged, in my opinion. So what I do is I share with you my opinion, not to be taken as fact. Please enjoy the video. Thank you for your support. But I share with you my opinion because if I can do, there's two things. There's really two things with every video I do. On the search videos, there's three things. But let's do that. On the search video, there's a third. Do you see something that can help find Sebastian? On the videos such as these, they're informational purposes only. Is to, number one, keep his awareness alive. Right? Sebastian Rogers, when he went missing, what his reward is, here he is, see his face. So for somebody who's catching this video for the first time, if Sebastian's seeing this video, knowing that, that he is missing, if he doesn't know that people are looking for him. So number one is to keep the awareness alive. Number two is it's my opinion, right? So we'll throw that disclaimer back up. So this is my opinion. It's what I believe. And I'm open for you to, I hope it sparks in you something to think about. And that's exactly what happened with the Sweetie Pilo video as I'm watching, and many videos that I watch. I've done many videos with my points of what they've said. And so this bed thing is very interesting because we've heard of the bed in the garage and bed this and a mattress and all these different things. So we're going to talk about that. But let's start off with, and then we're going to talk about, well, we'll throw the thumbnail up here in a second. So, and then the third thing, if we're searching, is to come along with us. You see what we're seeing. Hopefully the videos are clear and you can point things out. And we have a couple of emails that are saying, hey, what do you think about this spot? And that spot is something that maybe they're seeing. So we can get back out and verify it, and we've done that in the past. Okay, so say his name. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. As of today, May 22, 2025, he's been gone 450 days. That's 1 year, 2 months, 3 weeks, 4 days. So come tomorrow, Friday, then Saturday, he'll be gone. He'll be gone basically 1 year and 3 months. Okay? 15 months. No distraction in finding Sebastian. The goal is to bring him home. Keep his awareness alive, keep his face out there. So you clicked on this video, and you clicked on this video to see, let me find it right here, this, right? This is a thumbnail. What we're looking at is his home, from a drive-by I did. You've got the missing sign out front. It is up erect more. This is actually from just this past Saturday, almost a week ago, and missing sign is more visible, better looking than it has been in the past. This is his window, so he's missing from here because allegedly this is the last place he was. 450 days gone. Here's his flyer. Here he is with a beautiful smile. Sebastian Rogers, and it's simple. Her watch, his bed. Her watch, his bed. Her, KP, and him, Sebastian. So we're going to discuss two things that come up in a lot of different videos. And these are things, like I said, that inspire me to put my thoughts on, right? Because here's the thing. You listen to this video, number one, you bring his awareness, you spread his awareness. If you go and do your own video, whether it's 5 minutes, 2 minutes, or an hour, whether you do live or whether you do like I do, record it and then post it, at least you're giving your opinion, because groups and teams work together because one person has one view and another person has another view. And when you take these multiple views and put them together, somebody goes, if you're open-minded, like I believe I am my whole life, and you're listening actively to the other person speaking, like I did with the local this past weekend, and they listen to you, then you go, oh, I never thought about that, or I never thought about that. So two things I've been wanting to do a video on the bed for a few weeks. And then I said, let's talk about the watch too, because these are two, everything's a clue, right? Because we don't know what happened to Sebastian, and we're trying to find him. So let's just keep spreading his awareness, keep his awareness alive, showing that he's out there missing. So if he sees it, Sebastian, you can come up and say your own name. Hey, I'm Sebastian Rogers. Help me, right? So let's dive right into this. And we're going to go ahead and start with the watch, okay? So the watch is a big question. And the quick on the watch is that Katie Proudfoot, had a watch on. Allegedly, it's in the video. I don't have the video to show. Everyone's seen the Texas Roadhouse video. But she has what appears to be an Apple Watch on. And I haven't gone through all the videos, but I've watched others who have done that work already. And no one can seem to find a video, an interview, that she's done since Sebastian went missing with the watch on. So where's the watch? What happened to her watch? It's not just a normal watch that can't be tracked. This is a data watch, right? It syncs to your phone, and it's pinging off towers and stuff, depending on what type of service she has. If it's cellular or if it's just connected to her phone, but when it's near her phone, it's doing all that, right? So I figure there's three things. There's three things, or three places, or three reasons she doesn't have the watch with her or on since Sebastian went missing. Number one, not being used. That's the most simple explanation, right? That just coincidence that when she started thinking, I don't want to wear it anymore, was after he went missing. What if, in her defense, which is, it's not hard for me to say because we don't know everything, but I know what my thoughts are, allegedly, that she's involved. But maybe the watch reminds her of him. So she's not going to wear it until he comes home. So not being used. Very simple, very innocent. 3, maybe it's in law enforcement custody. Maybe this is something they've taken in to analyze data. Or maybe they took it in to analyze data and then they told her, don't be wearing it, leave it off, leave it over here, whatever. Who knows? So not being used, real simple. In custody, real simple. The one question I have is, an alleged, in my opinion, right, disclaimer on the wall, not to be taken as fact, is it lost? Does she not have it anymore? Of course, that inference is, did she have it up until the time Sebastian went missing? And it either got lost in the process of whatever happened for him to be disappeared, her having a hand in that, allegedly, and to the point of, could it even still be with him? Could it be with him? Follow me here. Struggle, fight, something happens, watch gets crushed and damaged. He gets hurt really bad to the point of, unalive. And both go away 450 days ago. That the last time she wore the watch was 1 year, 2 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days ago. 450 days ago, that was the last time, 1 year, 2 months, 3 weeks, 4 days, that Sebastian was seen. Did they both get lost and disappear on the same night? Somewhere between 6:45 approximately p.m. on February 25th, 2024 to 6 a.m. on February 26, 2024. So just want to throw that out there and say question mark. And if you're listening, whoever you may be, and you have an opinion on where the watch is, or you know where the watch is, did she sell it to you? That's the other thing. I guess I could have put in she sold the watch, which would seem very odd with her son being missing. So not being in use, I don't think so. I think between these three, she either lost it somewhere in the disappearance, is it with Sebastian or not, or it's maybe most likely in LE custody because it's a data device that maybe they can get some answer as to what she was doing that evening. So the watch. Where is Katie Proudfoot's watch? Now, the next one is the bed. And this is Sebastian's bed. Okay? So there's been a lot of different statements, even going all the way back to when he first disappeared, became missing 450 days ago, 1 year, 2 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days, about bed. You know, one of the first things you can see on Nancy Grace is there was a bed in the garage. Allegedly, according to Chris Proudfoot, that bed was from a friend that was loaned over. Never really gave real reason. It just was there in the garage. No one's been allowed in his bedroom. Allegedly, that's what I understand, is no one's been allowed in the bedroom, not even America's Most Wanted. Okay, we'll talk about that. And then the CP statement. So let's do the first two, then we'll watch the statement, which is what I started this video with from the Sweetie Pilo, her video. So, bed in the garage. We know there's a bed in the garage. According to Chris Proudfoot, he stated this, I believe it was mainly, I saw this on Nancy Grace, that they do have a bed in the garage. And she was talking about, has there been new furniture come in or anything changed since Sebastian went missing? And the only thing they said was they got this bed from a friend. And why? So what is the bed doing there? The next thing about the bed is, and when you talk about statements, there's another statement about how he wetted the bed, right? They talked about using diapers, and there was even alleged rumors that when he would wet the bed, he would be put in the garage to sleep because they'd be so mad at him wetting his bed. So was that bed to replace a bed, maybe a mattress, maybe he had been wetting, and maybe that's where that bed was going. But no one in the bedroom. No one in the bedroom. Now, this is very perplexing to me. And I'll even go back several months ago when Chris would come on, Proudfoot that is, and rage out or get upset about how that they would love to go on a national TV and they would talk that, or they were asking maybe why Katie's not speaking. Well, if you had a national stage, you're not going to deal with the YouTube. But national stage, you're going, well, then here comes America's Most Wanted, right? First episode of a new spinoff, if you will, Missing Persons. And as I said in my last video, I believe, I love the fact that they kept his awareness live, showed his flyer, and people that didn't know he was missing now do. That's fantastic, because look how long he's been gone. And say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. They did that. Every one of the panels, they had their theories. But overall, I wasn't impressed with it. And here's one of the main reasons. They interviewed Seth, they interviewed Katie, they interviewed Chris. Well, the first thing I have to say with Chris, he's blaming, hey, we all getting criticized. Let me tell you something about criticism, okay? The only reason you don't like criticism is because it's justified. Ladies and gentlemen, if my loved one was missing and I had zero to do with it, you can criticize me all you want. Well, as a matter of fact, I'll just say this. I've seen some of the comments of searching, not only on this last search, but on other searches. I watched someone do a whole video of me searching, and I actually had, as I did with this last one, people with me, okay, that knows that when I went out into those woods that I'd never been into before, I got a camera. And as a matter of fact, on this last one, I'm holding a camera. So I like being hands-free around the neck, so I can, if I encounter or something, maybe a wild animal or something, you're hands-free, right? You can defend yourself. So when I go in the woods, I'm not going in with anything, and it's not just me. Anybody that goes out there searches and they find, a piece of paper, oh, you took that out there and found it, The woods are wild. You never know what you're going to find in the woods. And I've learned a lot more by these searches. But the point I'm saying is that's criticism. Doesn't bother me because I have nothing to hide, right? But you're on a national stage, America's Most Wanted, and you want to talk about criticism. But what I thought about the thing was, why did we not go to his bedroom, especially in Seth? Because from what I understand, they, mom and stepdad, would not allow America's Most Wanted in, but Seth did. But on the segment, we didn't see his bedroom from either home. But allegedly, Seth has kept it in the exact same way, waiting on him to come home. Almost like that, continual thing or that routine thing. So if he does come home, or when he comes home, it'll be the same. Whereas on the other side, mom and stepdad, they're not even letting them in. So why did we not see all this? And big question. No one in the bedroom. Why? So here's a challenge I'm going to set out there. And I don't know, they might not ever have watched a single video of mine. And I really could care less, because if what they should be doing is looking for their son, stepson, and son. But if they are listening, or someone who knows them's listening, I'd like to put a challenge out to KP and CP. And someone asked, who's KP? That's Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot. And here it is. Could you do us a video? Could you do us a photo? A video would be better, I think. Could you show us a video that shows with timestamp that it is May 23rd, that'd be tomorrow, or this weekend, May 24th or 5th, and go in his bedroom? I think all of us would love to see his bedroom. That's number one. Number two, and I'm stating it straight up, I would like to see, is it still his bedroom? Or has it been changed into something else? Now, at the same time, there was a mattress pad found way back in the early stages, and that disappeared too, but it is also associated with the bedroom, and most particularly his bed. So now, from how does that bedroom look to this statement? And let's watch it. I'm going to let it play. I'm going to let Sweetie and Mike talk about their thoughts on it, and we'll play it a couple of times. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. I cannot believe I've never caught that before. Hold on. Right here. Pay attention, because he slips his words.
We have a bedroom that's empty. That is never, normally ever empty.
He was about to say, oh my God, I know it. He was about to say, it's never. He filled again.
And you know what? He said, he then tried to make it sound like he was going to say it's never empty, but it's empty 4 days of the month. You know what I mean? So he was going to say it's never going to be filled again. Absolutely.
Okay, so what they're saying, and we're going to watch it again. I just want to throw it in case you're confused here. And it struck me too. So they were actually they're comparing, we know allegedly, but I think he's already been found guilty. And we know that Chris Watts, murdered his family. So I say murder. You know what I'm saying? He killed his family, and so we know that. So they're comparing that to the behaviors of Chris and Katie, and so they weren't even looking for what they found here. So basically, what you're hearing Chris say is it allegedly sounds like he's about to say, so we're dealing with a bed that will never be slept in again. We'll listen and you listen for that. It sounds like he's saying this bed will never be slept in again. But then he catches himself and he says, we're dealing with a bed that is never, hardly ever, a bed that's never gone this long with no one sleeping in it, or something like that. He says that. Let's go back and listen to it again, because what he's trying to, so, and I believe them too. Allegedly, in my opinion, it's the same thing. He was on the road, slipping up, going to say, that bed's never going to be slept in again. Allegedly, because he knows Sebastian's never coming home. And then tries to turn it and talk about how it's hardly never slept in, but yet it is, like he says, it goes empty for a Friday night, a Saturday night, every other weekend. So that's, he says, 4 nights every month. So let's go back right here and just listen to everything. You're going to see Chris Watts pop up too, but just here we go.
Watts. Oh my gosh, he's so difficult to watch. He's smiling ear to ear while he's talking about never going, like never
She's talking
the
about
kids
Chris
in their
Watts
rooms
here.
again.
She's talking about Chris Watts.
And he's just smiling, like just
trying to get
jovial,
it to
happy
this
guy.
point,
Huh? It makes no sense, but of course it does, because he was guilty of sin. Just like
Sometimes you can ask people also, like you can turn off the volume in these interviews and ask people, what do you think they're talking about? I mean, now, and nobody will guess a missing child, you know?
Did you hear that? That was really something I want to highlight on Mike. Very smart there. That sometimes you can, he says, cut the volume off and just watch the reactions and their demeanors, and then say, you think they're what do you think they're talking about? And sometimes they're so joyful and happy, especially in the Chris Watts case there, where, like you said, he's guilty. He was found guilty, right? And so it's like they have a joy, like they're telling about something happy, but yet then you say, no, their kids are missing. And so it's kind of it's a sign. I mean, look at CP's face here. That is a face to me of somebody's about to try to tell you something that they want you to believe. And that's my opinion. I have a right to it, right?
In family, nobody would. They would think he's talking about a baseball game or something, you know?
That's such a good point. Yeah, you're right.
Only ever empty.
You know what? Hold on. Let me pull that out.
Okay, so what he said there, and that gets me back to my point. So now I can lay it all out. So he's going to say what we believe, the three of us allegedly here, is that, in our opinion, he's about to say there's a bed that'll never be slept in again. Meaning he knows Sebastian's never coming back to that bed for things he knows that we don't know. But then he catches himself in mid-sentence, and then he changes it to a bed that's never not slept in. Well, that would mean that Sebastian's home every night, 30 days of the month. We know that's not the case. And Mike pulls it out. Friday night, Saturday night, as he goes Friday to Sunday to Seth, twice a month. That's 4 times he doesn't sleep in it anyway. So listen.
You can see what
This. We have a bedroom that's empty. That is never, normally ever empty.
Hey, did you catch that, Mike?
We have a bedroom that's never normally empty. Watch.
Talking about. I mean, now, and nobody will guess a missing child, you know, a missing family. Nobody would. They would think he's talking about a baseball game or something, you know?
That's such a good point. Yeah, you're right.
Normally ever empty.
You know what? Hold on. Let me pull that out just here. So you can see what
This. We have a bedroom that's empty. That is never, normally ever empty.
Hey, did you catch that, Mike? He was just about to say, oh my God, I've never caught this before. He was
Let me hear.
He was just about to say is never going to be filled again.
Oh,
Listen.
let me hear this.
Oh yeah. I cannot believe I've never caught that before. Hold on. right here. Pay attention because he slips his words.
We have a bedroom that's empty that is never normally ever empty.
He was about to say, oh my God, I know it. He was about to say it's never be filled again.
And you know what? He said he then tried to make it sound like he was gonna say it's never empty, but it's empty 4 days of the month. You know what I mean? So
there you go. So you see how he pulled that back. So when he allegedly, in our opinion, as he's going down the path of it's never going to be empty, it's never going to be filled again, right? There's no one ever going to sleep in it again. And as he changed it to it's never empty. Well, it is empty. At least 4 times a month. Okay, so with all that, it comes back to the bed, right? His statement you just heard. Also his statement about the bed in the garage. Also not allowing anyone into the bedroom, okay? The bedroom is important, right? You go to the last place. If Sebastian, and we covered that in our last video, if he truly was in the home after the roadhouse, and he did say, Mom, everything's okay, and he did go to bed, then the bedroom is critical, right? It's absolutely critical. And throughout this entire thing, we've never once seen, that I'm aware of, any image or footage from that bedroom. But most importantly now, I would love to see that bedroom. They don't need that bedroom for anything. It's a big house. The other child has their own room. They have their room. To me, that bedroom should be in Sebastian's, the way he left it, just like allegedly Seth is doing. Now, I know the rebuttal is going to be, it's no one's business. It's really not. I get that. Except for the fact that he's missing. So, if I'm a law enforcement officer, I'm going to knock on the door one day and say, I want to see the room. Because what do you do if the room's now a gym, or if the room's now an office? What does that say? You try to say we took his bed out because we are so distraught? No, you leave everything intact. And if he's truly missing and he had nothing to do with it, it's intact for 20 years, 30 years, hoping he comes home. With that statement, great job, Sweetie Pilo. Great job, Mike Demand. I'm not sure what his last name is. I apologize on that, but you'll know. I'll leave the link to his channel and the thing. And then along with the bed, we have the watch. Why is Katie not wearing her watch? And where is it? So, a lot of things that creep up, right, that are clues in this to help us try to figure out where is Sebastian and why, like this says, missing. Why has he been missing 450 days, right? And I guess I could have put another one here that just said, what are they doing? 450 days now, almost 15 quarters. Not 15 quarters, 15 months. 5 quarters. What are the people in this house doing to find their boy? Gone 450 days. Say his name. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian, if you're listening, you hear this, say your name. Approach anyone and say, hi, I'm Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And as several people have said on different videos and podcasts and live streams, is if you see him and you think it's him, one of the easiest things to do is just say, hey, is your name Sebastian? Right? I think I heard somebody say once too that even if the parents are there, just ask, right? In my time knowing about Sebastian being missing, and I would say I picked it up a couple of months after, so late February, so probably in April. And so now I'm, well over a year into it. Started searching in June. But I'd say probably since June, almost a year now, I've encountered at least 4 different times. The first time was in Knoxville, Tennessee. I was working, and I saw a boy with a lady and two other children. I made a point to drive over to it was a mini golf place Walked right up to where I could see him. It wasn't him. And then since then, there's been, I know, 2 restaurants to where I walked around to see. And what I can do is I'm really good with faces. And I know this face. I know what he looks like. And so when I get close enough, I can. I've seen children that are probably the exact same age, height and weight, same hair, but the face is the face, right? And so, unfortunately, none of them have been him. So probably 4 different times, from Knoxville to Nashville to all the way over to Memphis, thinking I maybe have seen somebody. But my reaction was to approach, get a visual for myself. I tell you, if I ever see him, I'll probably freeze. I'll probably have a little bit of paralysis at first. But searching for him for all this time, I may just go up and say, "Come on, you're coming with me," right? But boy, that would be great. So hopefully he's out there. If you're out there, Sebastian, hear this. Say your name. Ladies and gentlemen, keep his awareness alive. That's what it's about, right? This flyer, throw it out there. If you need it, email me, silversonthescene@yahoo.com, and I'll get it to you. But I just wanted to throw a couple more clues out there. The whole point, let's go back over it. Number 1 is to keep his awareness alive. Without this flyer, without keeping his awareness alive, we're not going to find him. We can't get justice for him until we find him. So that's number 1, purpose of the video. The second purpose of the video is to enact or to get your juices flowing, your creative, your mind thinking, right? Hopefully tonight, something I've said, talking about Katie's watch and Sebastian's bed and showing this clip from Sweetie Pilo will get someone thinking, right? Or go do some research and go, look, your video led me to this. And then the third thing when we're searching is to be out there, boots on the ground, looking for real hard evidence that'll lead us back to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and that is his name. Say it, so we can find him and bring him home. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. That's it for tonight. It is Thursday evening, and so May 22nd. So enjoy your Friday tomorrow. Have a great, productive day. Hope everyone has a great weekend. It is depending on what your job is and where you work, but for most of the people, it's going to be, for most everyone, it's going to be a 3-day weekend. So enjoy that. I just remembered it today. I was planning Monday out and realized it's Memorial Day. So have a great weekend. Thank you for your support. And say his name. Keep his face out there. Keep his awareness alive. Silver's on the scene. Stay tuned. As always, more to come. Thank you.